this is Better with Therapy. I'm here with John Wittmeyer, one of the owners of Crabs to Go. I appreciate you coming. We're just going to talk a little bit more about therapy. A lot of the other previous podcasts weren't as much about therapy. We're going to talk about physical therapy, John's health journey in the last 2 to 3 years.
Technically 4, seriously.
4 years of how he's kind of changed some things in his life for the better.
Absolutely.
So just to start off, when did I first meet you?
When I broke my ankle, Dr. Beck rebuilt it, and then you rehabbed me when you were over on Route 50.
And that was like
15 years ago.
15 years ago. And then, I remember it was healing up. You had surgery. How did you injure that?
Toy surfing. Fell down the steps because the kids had toys all over the steps.
That's right.
And I was taking out a bag of trash on a Monday night Redskins Eagles game, and that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, good. And what was the process like? Like how you got to me? So you injured your ankle. You saw Dr. Beck. You had surgery. Then we did therapy for. I would say we did it for 2 or 3 months, didn't we?
Oh, at least.
Was it longer? It might have been longer than that.
Yeah.
Because initially you couldn't really put. When you came to us, though, I think you could put weight on it, or.
I don't recall exactly when.
So I just remember it was healing. There was an area that wasn't healing initially. We held off for a little bit. I think
they had a wound care specialist who's no longer in the area, hopefully no longer practicing.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing me any favors and probably held me up for an extra month or two before I figured out he was a quack.
Perfect. Not really good. Yeah, I do remember that situation. Now that you said that, I forgot about that.
Because then when I conferred to Dr. Greer, he's like, "Yeah, that's everything. Everything he's doing to you is against how you're supposed to heal naturally."
Yeah.
Like he was scraping the scab off. Like,
yeah.
That's not something you regularly do, But I didn't know any better.
But it healed despite that.
Yes. Oh yeah. When I got away from him and just went to Dr. Greer and took care of myself. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then when I probably didn't see you for a while, like years.
Oh, it'd probably been 10 years. I've been having problems. Dr. Beck and Dr. Greer, I wore my other ankle out from the compensating for the bad ankle. I wore my other one out, and we went and did CAT scans and MRIs and all that stuff, and I had arthritis in the bottom of both feet. Mm-hmm. Also, 35 years in the business on the corner, walking on concrete, walking on the asphalt, miles a day, every day. And probably in my earlier years, a lot of flip-flops, and then I changed in my work shoes, so I wasn't doing myself any favors. So when we found out it was arthritis, I asked him, sitting with Dr. Beck, I'm like, what do I do? He goes, John, to be quite honest with you, lose some weight, get back into physical therapy, and start training. So I came back with Martin. We did some physical therapy. He said he was pretty much done with me. That's all I could do here. So then I went and got a personal trainer, and I've been at the gym just a little over 2 years now, down somewhere between 50 and 60 pounds.
Which is great and huge. Yeah. And it wasn't really like you did it with like medicine or medication or surgery.
Change your life habits, just changing, eating less, drinking less, doing more positive things, trying to help myself. I never would have thought I was the gym guy for 2 years, but I don't see it ever leaving me now. Like, I enjoy it. I just came from there, had a great workout, feel good, going to go home and eat good, so it's definitely positive.
Because, what'd you say, 3 or 4 years, maybe closer to 4 years, when you've been...
Well, I went from you to Mike, the gym, so that's 2 years.
Okay.
But I don't know how long my stint was between. I don't know if I was here a year or 6 months, 8 months before you said, "Hey, you're ready to move on. I can't do anything else for you."
You're at a point where you didn't need the skilled physical therapy. You just need repetition. Correct. You need someone to increase your strength.
Correct.
Working on some high level core strength and balance, and just to get you, because you're working long hours.
Yes.
Year round.
Yes, sir.
Probably more in the summer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how much would you say you lost? About 50 or 60 pounds?
Between 50 or 60. I was never a scale guy. When you're fat, you never are. Now it's like I can't wait to jump on a scale. Some days, when you wake up feeling good, and it's just like you get on there and you start your day, and then you're like, hey, let's do another one. Monday, I went to a celebration of life, and it's like, man, what am I going to wear today? Went to the back part of my closet I haven't seen in years. Pulled out a pair of, ended up being 36s, and fit me good. Was able to tuck a shirt in, looked great, felt great. I just bought all new 38s, and I was thinking today that I'm going to have to buy all new jeans and everything. Everything's in the 40s. So it's all good. It's all positive.
Yeah, I mean, you're like a perfect example of what we strive for, like getting a patient to come to physical therapy, do their exercises, get to a point where they don't need necessarily to use our services and continue with it, because historically most people maybe do their exercises after physical therapy for, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, and then they stop. And then they end up coming back like a couple years later. But you've kept it up. You've lost 50 or 60 pounds. But you also changed not just exercise. You just started, didn't you change your diet some?
Yeah, just everything in moderation. I still love lasagna. I just eat a 2-inch piece instead of a 6-inch piece. I got to have a little bit of garlic bread with it. I don't eat half a loaf. I eat, 3 inches, 4 inches of garlic bread.
Yeah.
And just, again, watch it, The old John could have drank the whole bottle of wine. Now just have a glass of wine,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, like I say, moderation, drinking a lot of water, watching what I'm putting in. At first I thought the red Gatorade was all healthy when I started this journey. No, it's not. It's no good for you. It's got all kinds of artificial dyes and it's pretty much straight up poison. But nobody really looks at it like that. You think if Gatorade was sports and it's got to be good for you, it's really not. Not that I'm an advocate either way. But, just learn,
And then what about, there's got to be days when you're like scheduled to go to the gym, see Mike, and you don't want to go. How do you get through that?
Go.
You just go.
Just go.
So you don't really miss.
No.
It's on the schedule. Because it helps. A lot of times people will say, they don't want to go to the gym, but if you have that scheduled appointment with a trainer, they're expecting you there. It's kind of a good motivation to go.
Well, he's been on vacation for the last 10 days, and I did 3 trips without him, and I was telling you earlier, I got a better workout because I wasn't talking and BSing him, but when I do work out with him, I get a lot of knowledge, especially on the dietary end, and the different crap in food. There's so much stuff that you eat or give your children nowadays, you got to eat healthy. You got to eat a clean living. And I'm not saying that, everything 100% all the time, but I'm just more conscious of what I eat and how I eat it. Do I still like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Once a week, I treat it. That's usually a gym day.
Yeah.
But now, like, even my eating habits have changed. Or if I eat a big breakfast, which I try to do, I make it to dinner. I make it till 6:30, maybe eat a protein bar or a handful of nuts, if you start getting... so just watching out and basically cutting out a meal, but not missing it. If I get hungry at work, I'm fortunate. I'll cook a dozen little necks and just eat them, no butter, and boom, that fills the void.
So it's not like you're at a point where like you're so hungry that you're not eating and you're like, oh man, I have to eat. You're kind of finding something like a healthy snack to get through the day where you're not like.
No, there's days in the last probably 6-7 months that just like I was on a protein bar kick. And then I was kind of like, I really didn't want it. And then, it kind of evolved. Like, I've heard of this, what would you call it? App, that's fasting.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not for me. Like I say, I tried fruits and yogurts for breakfast and berries and granola and all that stuff. I was hungry in an hour. If I eat that bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, I'm good. I'm good to go. So, then I have all day to burn that off. And then I try to eat, less carbs at dinner time. Like tonight it'll be 0 carbs just by the design of my meal.
And then what hobby? I know we've talked about this in the past because I'm always joking with you about it. What hobbies do you have outside of work and outside of going to the gym?
Fishing and hunting every chance I get, which are moving activities. I find myself being able to get deeper into the woods and walk further to places that I wasn't going on these properties that we can hunt. And I would, go in the first 100 yards and, sit in a nice comfy box. Now I'm putting in the work and, not quite climbing trees yet, but, definitely getting to that point,
So it's helped you in other aspects, like work,
everything.
like going
Life,
hunting, fishing.
Relationships, everything.
How about your sleep? Has it affected your sleep for the positive or negative? Like, have you been sleeping better?
I've always been a good sleeper.
And then, are you an early riser or...
Yes, I do like to get up early.
And then you have a certain routine you do every morning, or?
Yes. Let the dogs out, brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's every day.
Yeah. What about, have you had any discussion, any other like friends or family that you've been like it was a big change for you like the last 3 or 4 years. Has anyone like watched you maybe and been like, hey, if John's doing this, I want to kind of start on some process and try to start feeling better? Because it wasn't something like, I think 4 years ago you were like looking to go to the gym on a regular basis. Is that true?
No, not 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I was looking to better my feet and my quality of life. And
right.
like Dr. Beck said, lose some weight, work out.
And that's sometimes what you need. You just need someone to tell you the honest truth about something as opposed to like sugarcoating it. They just need to tell you, like, sometimes someone will come in for like the need for a knee replacement or something, and the doctor will say, hey, you gotta lose weight. And they're not always like in that whole situation. But no, you've done great.
Thank you.
So I appreciate you coming on.
Well, another thing too that we got to mention is what got me back in the office. Even after the gym, was your laser therapy.
Oh yeah.
I saw that just scrolling Instagram one day, and called Martin up and was just like, "Hey, you think this is something that would work for my arthritis in my feet?" And it has helped. We've done 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, we did 10 and then another set of 10.
Yeah, so it's definitely helpful. I'm going to take a little bit of time off for that. And we'll try some other things, just with Martin's guidance, and he's working on some other things. So just trying to do it healthy and without medicine, and, doing it myself, definitely taking more different vitamins and minerals in my life than I used to.
Sure.
And, my blood pressure's down as well. I mean, the doctor's liking what he's saying, it's positive. It's positive all the way around.
I think just it's affecting like your whole life in general, everywhere.
Oh yeah,
in every aspect.
Yeah, every bit of it.
So if you guys want to like try to transform some things, get better, feel better, you can always start out in physical therapy. Give us a call at 410-641-2900. If you're in need of some really good crabs,
call 410-641-9379.
They're the biggest crabs, best crabs you'll have. Crabs to Go, right on the corner of
Route 50 and 589.
Route 50 and 589. All right. Thanks, John.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.